Happy Friday. What's going on, guys? Oh, it's a good day. What a week we have had. Holy smokes. Every now and then a company comes around and punches you right in the mouth, so to speak, and just surprises the hell out of you. After the somewhat okay AWS Summit last week, Microsoft came out swinging this week, guys. Tons and tons and tons of announcements. Microsoft traditionally has two major events every year. They have Build in the spring which is more developer focused. Think of like an Apple WWDC kind of show. But at the same time, much like WWDC, they make some pretty big announcements around their bigger platforms. Then the show in October is Ignite, which is usually their bigger infrastructure show, operating systems, things like that, other platforms as well. And the two are starting to blend together as we do more and more cloud computing and less hardware. So it's interesting to me to see one of the first builds that I've seen in a really long time have as much of a blend, as much of a mishmash, even though it had a very clear focus on developers. Not to the extent of Ballmer running out and yelling developers, which we all love and enjoy. But there was definitely a focus on development and how they're making development easier and more streamlined and more integrated through GitHub and Teams integrations and Power Platform, all of that stuff. It was very, very clear to me coming out of Build that was a key focus. And that a lot of that is going to fold into Azure with things like Azure DevOps. There's all kinds of stuff going on, and I think the more that we get this streamlined, the more that we bring these two worlds together, the better it's going to be. Now, that's going to do a few things for the enterprise. One, it's going to make the transition to leveraging cloud resources much easier. It's also going to complicate things in that, much like virtualization, not everybody was ready to make the switch. Not everybody was ready to cut over. Not everybody was ready to virtualize everything. And you had a lot of opponents to virtualization, much like you have opponents to cloud computing, in the same way, because it becomes human nature. It becomes a act of survival, keeping your job, fear of the unknown, all of those things psychologically play into these kinds of epoch shifts in technology. And make no mistake, cloud computing is I think there are big markers in history. I think Active Directory was a big one. The emergence from Y2K and beyond in the client-server sort of revolution was a big one. I think virtualization was a big one. And then I think cloud computing is going to be the one of this decade. VDI, we're still sitting around waiting. 20 years later, we're still trying to figure out how to replicate the whole dumb terminal green screen experience with GUI environments, right? So yeah, there's a lot going on, and Build came out swinging this week for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed the watch parties. Those were a lot of fun to put on. The day one is getting thousands and thousands of views. Lots of stuff announced on day one. Day two, I mean, it's typical of any show, whether it's in person or virtual. Nowhere near the same amount of people are going to be as engaged and as interested in the second day as they are the first day. The first day, you're going to come out and you're going to blow your wad at the keynote, and you're going to announce all the things, and you're going to everything, right? So it makes sense. It makes sense that there was a lot more traffic and viewership and all of those things going on as we were on day one as opposed to day two. But some of the big stuff that happened, I just want to call these out and reiterate these again. And I'm going to have a blog post with all this stuff broken out, maybe several blog posts as much as was announced. There was stuff around Azure. There was stuff around development. So Azure Cloud Infrastructure stuff around development. stuff around Windows 10 operating environments. I call them environments now, not operating systems. You had a lot of stuff around AI ML work that's going on, including the the Imagine Cup. Definitely wanted to highlight Team Hollow for winning that. And then we got into all kinds of stuff for developers specifically that was getting open sourced. That we had all kinds of stuff. Their Deep Speed framework is getting open sourced. Their Turing language models are getting open sourced. Dapper over 5G and Project Bonsai, Azure DevOps, and all kinds of stuff. Not getting open source, but development environments and things like that getting all kinds of it. And the biggest thing I heard all over the course of the 2 days, Teams. Zoom, Slack, Discord, WebEx, GoToMeeting, you've all been put on notice after this week, if you weren't already. Zoom exploded out of nowhere because of its ease of use for personal use, but look at what happened with the security stuff because it was so easy to use. Now that they've locked it all back down, it's not so easy to use, and you kind of stop hearing about the happy hours and all of the things going on. Zoom found a way to be ubiquitous, and I think it was now they had one shot. You get one chance to step up to the mic, and I feel like they might have blew it. Word of mouth is important. It will go a long way. But I'm looking at Teams going, enterprise. If I pull up my Teams right here, there and you go to the thing that's kind of hidden, and I wish they would pull it up to the top to the main menu on the left. Is there's an apps icon down here, and if you do that, you get all of these built-in. It just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls and scrolls and scrolls endlessly. It's a virtual app store. There's a huge third-party ecosystem, a lot of which is Microsoft themselves, but think of these as sort of apps that you can integrate and add into your Teams, much like we do for Slack and Discord. You can do that now on Teams. So I'm sitting here going, well, how does a non-enterprise environment use Teams? Because doesn't it require Office 365 and all of that user base and things like that? I don't know. Have they made Teams to be bigger than just enterprise? I don't know. I've never used it outside of work. So if you guys know, let me know in the chat. But it's one of the things where I've not played with it outside of a place that I was already authenticating to an Office 365 corporate environment. I'm in the NetApp organization, and I'm a guest in the Microsoft organization for our work with Azure NetApp Files and other things, so I can communicate with some Microsoft people over in that one. I wish it was easier to move between my orgs. And yes, I know it's a drop-down box, but it's kind of hidden up there in the top right next to your avatar. And I can toggle between my organizations, but why not follow like a... The crackle might be from the music, Todd. Hopefully it's not my voice. Let's try a different song. Yeah, they put that in these lo-fi songs, they put that record crackle in there for some reason. Oh, if it's my voice, please let me know. I know how to fix that, but this music, those lo-fi people like to put the record scratch crackle background thing. All right, hang on. Let's see if that cleared it up. Let me pull it up on my phone, see if I can hear what you're hearing. Bear with me one sec. Definitely don't want this to sound bad. Yeah, I hear what you're hearing now. One sec, guys. Let's see if that made a difference. Not much. It's still there. All right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start a live stream, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Make sure you guys that are getting into this know what you're getting into. No, you didn't throw a grenade into the room, but... That might have fixed it right there. Yay! Okay, no, don't apologize, man. I really appreciate that. Every now and then, I need that, I don't have a way to tell. What it was something was breaking up in OBS as it was sending out the stream. So I literally had to stop the stream, kill OBS, restart it, start the stream again. The beauty of YouTube is that it doesn't actually stop the stream session, right? It just, I can do all of that. With Twitch or with Mixer, it shuts down and starts it back up as if it was a brand new stream. So please don't apologize. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Where were we? Teams. Teams. I'm loving the ecosystem that I'm finding, and I'm only just now scratching the surface on, what this could potentially be. So if I blow this up here, you guys can see, if you go down here to this apps down in the bottom left, you get all kinds of stuff. Now, social and fun. Look at all of this. Just fun stuff, right? So today I wanted to go through several things. Well, I'll let you guys know what we're going to do today so you can choose whether this is how you want to spend the next couple hours. We're going to go over, I'm going to play with some stuff in Teams, some integrations. I'm going to work on trying to get, does the alt space thing work yet? No. I'm going to try and get the search, the alt, but I'm wondering how much of this is preview. Is it like a Windows 10 preview update that I have to get, or is it going to work that way? WinGet as a package manager. I want to update my terminal to the new, it's finally 1.0. So I'm going to be working on a lot of that stuff today. We'll see how far I get. I'm wondering how much of this is tied to preview updates for the Windows OS. That's one thing we've got to figure out. So let me just pull this up here and just start. I want to start with the terminal. Windows Terminal 1.0, and then we can make our terminal, right? Is this it down here? How do I see? Oh, Razer. Yeah, I don't need to do that right now. You can download Windows Terminal from the Microsoft Store or from the GitHub releases page. It'll have monthly updates starting in July. I've never had a lot of luck with apps downloaded from the Microsoft Store. Completely honest, full transparency. I normally go, if I'm thinking of Spotify, Skype. Both of those are subpar to the actual desktop applications, and they kind of self-update themselves anyway, so what's the benefit of getting it from the Microsoft Store? I feel like it's akin to buying an HBO subscription through the iTunes Store or the Apple Store, if you get my point, you guys that have been through that kind of stuff before. But I can't wait to get my hands on. Okay, so we're also launching a preview channel of Windows Terminal. If you're someone who likes to be involved in the development of Windows Terminal and use the latest features. Oh, okay, so they got a preview build that's going to be automatically updating. The pains. The pains here is what I'm really excited about. Especially for doing things like running this stuff, running Kubernetes. Having multiple kube control panes open, having a tail of a logs, tailing some logs in one pane while I'm executing stuff in another pane. Mwah! Like that. Oh, God, finally. It's here, finally. Rendering it with a GPU. What? Happy Friday, Wences. Thank you for joining us, man. This is the kind of stuff that I'm here for. Making colors and doing cool backgrounds and all kinds of stuff like that. Full customization, unlimited customization. That looks like an Oh My Z8. Yeah, man, absolutely. If I open mine right now, or is it over on my Mac? No, mine on my Windows machine. My Mac has the Oh My ZSH put in it. But just to show you guys, here's mine right now. Here's my command. It's vanilla. So I wanted to start with this and see if we can get mine up and running in something that's a little bit less Windowsy, a little bit more terminal-y. Some Courier new font and all kinds of good stuff. So let's get going. This is the first thing I wanted to mess with today. I want to see what this looks like in practice. I want to do some customizations. We may spend the entire next couple of hours or hour and a half now playing with Windows Terminal, and that's okay. We can have a stream about each one of these major things. I want to get into Azure Arc. I just don't know where I'm going to find the on-prem infrastructure to play with that, but I'll work on that. And I might end up using my Synology here in the studio, run some virtual machines and workstation, and then try to move things around. So I just wanted to go over this real quick. Fan community contributions. He wrote the functionality for Windows Terminal support GIFs and images in the background. Look at that flying window. Ah! Cal say, oh wow, look at that. This is by far one of our most used features. Of course it is. Retro terminal. I dig that. Oh, I like the old green screen. I'm a big fan of that, by the way. It's really where I started out. You know, I had the CRT green screens, dumb terminals with Cat3 cables going back to the RS6000. Yep. It was so good they had to include it inside terminal. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Top contributors. Man, it's open source too. Look at this. Oh, I can't get it yet. Well, that might completely... Or can you? I guess I can. All right, let's get it from the Microsoft Store. As always. And we're waiting. Microsoft Store might be a little busy after this week. There we go. Was it updating or something? Oh. What's happening? I think that was it. There we go. Maybe I should close my terminal. Ooh, look at that. I see tabs. It's defaulting to PowerShell. Not mad at that, but that's probably not what I want. Oh! No more installing Azure Cloud Shell, folks. It's there. I probably should take that off the screen. All right. Oh no, I picked the wrong Microsoft account. Well, that'll be a fun exercise. All right, so how do you disassociate it now? Settings. It opened code when I opened the settings for terminal, it opened VS Code. Okay. Oh, that's probably just a... Let me get that off the screen just in case. Let me actually go back to this one, and then I can use my main monitor. Here's what happened. I have multiple Microsoft accounts. One for NetApp, one for personal, one for Xbox, all that stuff, right? And I picked the wrong one. The one that's not going to show me any of my Azure resources. So how do I get split pane, split mode, auto? Default profile. All right, so let's do some Googling. Windows Terminal 1.0, switch Microsoft account. Release. Well, I might have messed it up already. That's what we're here for, folks. We're here to break stuff. So you don't have to. Let me see if I can find... No, that's a Docker file. We don't want that. Settings, JSON. Okay. Well, what if we do... Can I... Windows... Terminal... Okay, so it's gone. So now if I do command, we're back. All right, cool. So let's go back to the store. We'll search Windows Terminal. That looks different. Huh. Didn't it say preview? Let me go find that page again. Oh, yeah, there it is. Get. It opened it up in a browser over here for some reason. Open the store. Now we're talking. Okay, install. It's a 6 megabyte download as well, guys. Can't beat that. All right, so now if I try, let me pull it over here. Actually, I'm on the right window. It's fine. Now if I open Azure Cloud Shell. Okay, now we're talking. So if I close that. Sorry, guys. Doing a little bit of an end around here. That's what I get for rushing. Enter code. Hopefully it doesn't have my authentication cached. Now we're talking. Okay. Yes. All right. So let me kick back over. All right. This might take a while. That's okay. You guys aren't going to be able to authenticate to my Microsoft account anyway, even if you have the code. Whatever. And if you do, nah. This might take a while. Cool. There we go. Wow. Okay. So one of the biggest reasons I use VS Code is to do Azure Cloud Shell directly from my desktop here. Does this eliminate that? Does this consolidate that functionality too? It looks like it. Like, I guess it's authenticating. Interesting. Oh, okay. So I go over to here to my set your default directory. I should still have a virtual machine. There we go. So now, because I again, Azure, multiple logins, multiple Microsoft accounts, multiple directories. It's interesting to see this interop. And I think they could streamline this a little bit better. So how do I get to... I don't know. Let's try it. Azure Cloud Shell. Enter N to log in with a new account. How about change tenant 0 default directory? Yeah, that's it. Enter a valid number to access the stored connection settings. N to log with a new... Huh? Ugh. Remove the saved connection settings. All right. Let's try this again. And the code... Yes. And we're kind of stuck here again. So I wonder if it's, let me see if so my default directory is the right one when I'm in the Azure portal. Here, I'll show you guys. I'll put this in the background so you guys can see what's going on. So the interesting thing that so here's, you guys might remember we moved our Minecraft from AWS to Azure earlier this year. That's still in there. It's just shut down right now. But I've got my default directory set. And that's the one that I authenticated with. But it's hanging. Okay. That's something else we can troubleshoot another time. Maybe the function... It is a preview at the end of the day. So maybe it's one of those things where, you know... Let's flip to command prompt. All right. And we'll get rid of PowerShell for now. For now. We'll go back and customize PowerShell. We'll give it some blue background. We'll make it look like the actual Posh terminal. Which, in case you guys don't know... is that. It looks very similar. But we're not going to need that anymore because we've got this. We just got to make it look like that. So I want to go back to, listen, we're all about the GIFs and the fun stuff today because it's Casual Friday. We're just hanging out. So let's play with what we learned this week at Build. Let me get rid of this. And let's come over here. So let's go back to the top and see where they give us some links to go to next, because that is beautiful. I would love to do a gradient like that. You can download Windows Terminal from the... Okay. Monthly updates starting in July 2020. Okay. If you're someone who likes to be involved in the development, you can download the terminal there. Okay, you already told us that. Documentation. We'll open that one up. We'll come back to that. Tabs and panes. Let's do this. Let's cruise it. Well, there's no settings anywhere that I'm seeing. Settings. There we go. Aha. Oh, it's a JSON configuration. Oh. Again, much like some of the stuff we're used to using in Linux and Mac for terminal. Interesting. Oh, we can close that. That's the old Minecraft container. No. Release notes. Oh, is this for VS Code or for terminal? Visual Studio Code. Okay, that can go away. Fine. So I get this is what Windows Terminal preview. Okay. Local state settings.json. Got it. All right. Close that. We don't need that. All right. To view the default settings, hold Alt while clicking Settings. For documentation on these settings, go here. I feel like we just opened that a second ago. All right, here's the full documentation. So I want to figure out how to do panes, green screen, PowerShell Blue, and I'm not sure I'm going to get too into this. Most of my development stuff I've done so far has been on my Mac. My Mac is configured to be able to work with branches like that. So I don't know if I want that for my home studio here. Because if I'm doing any kind of development work, most likely I'm going to be on my Mac. Because of gestures. Just being honest. You can set Windows Terminal to launch in a specific here we go. In a specific configuration using command line arguments. Specify which profile to open. In a new tab, which folder directory should be selected. Open the terminal with split window panes and choose which tab should be in focus. I'm starting to get Vim vibes off of this as well, by the way. Windows Terminal uses the GPU to render its text, thus providing improved performance over the default Windows command line experience. Really? Okay. Well, let's check that out. Let me get into old... if I can get some... okay. Okay. Just... We'll throw this guy up here. Curious to see if the GPU utilization goes up. I mean, 40%. That's because I'm streaming too, by the way, for what it's worth. So we're looking for encoding. Right there, 22% of that is the encode. Or no, this is down here, 39%. So it's all the encoding that's happening for the stream here. But I'm just not seeing it. Decode, copy, 3D. Yeah, I'm just, all right. Well, I'm wondering if there's something you have to hit. So apparently it looks like you have to launch it with a string. Where was it? Background image. You can have background images and GIFs inside your terminal. Information on how to add background images to your profile can be found on the profile setting. Aha, here we go. So property name, background image, necessity optional. Where are the settings? All right, let's go back to the top. Oh, I've got to be in that JSON file. Really? Okay. How do I get... Okay, I'll just have to leave this over here while we look at this. The settings... Defaults. Okay, let me put this over here. Can I hide the... There we go. We'll make this fit on screen beside it. And what if we do a little bit of this? The other thing I wanted to explore today was what Scott Hanselman was showing, which is where he had zones like carved out. Would love that. Now I can just open apps, drag it to a particular zone. Need to figure that out as well. Okay. Sorry if my camera is covering this part. But we've got, okay, so JSON defaults, settings apply to all profiles. Where is that? Oh, put settings here that you want to apply to all profiles. Okay. And then list profile objects. So maybe I switch these so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. That's probably better. Does that look better? Yeah, okay. So in your JSON file, which is stored in local user nickh app data local packages Windows Terminal preview local state settings.json. So we're looking for profiles can use a GUID as a UUID. To make a profile, your default profile, it needs a GUID for the default profile global settings. So there's a property name in here for GUID. To make your profile, to make a profile your default profile, it needs a GUID for the default profile global setting. Okay. Do you see default? There it is. Okay. So you can have multiple profiles. This is pretty cool. You can have multiple profiles, and then you set your default profile up here with whatever GUID. So see all these different GUIDs right here? Each of them have, right? So you can have multiple different profiles. So we have one for PowerShell, one for Command Prompt, one for Cloud Shell. Does that look familiar? So now you can, with this JSON file, you can set up different profiles that are going to show up here for you to select from. So if you have multiple operating environments of just Windows, of Command Prompt. If you have, like me, multiple Azure directories, multiple Microsoft accounts, you can have a profile for each one and you can just toggle between them in new tabs. Yes. Yes. I'm so excited this is finally here, guys. I hope that's coming through. This is a big deal. Now, I think what needs to happen is they need to make this a little bit easier to manage, where we don't have to go in and do code in JSON configuration files. It's just not going to let it get mainstream. There's got to be a GUI component built into Terminal itself to update this JSON file. But we'll get there. I hope. If this is some backwards way to get admins to learn how to code. I just want to run ping and start new virtual machines in Azure. I didn't want to learn to code. I can hear it now. All right, so what else can we do? Drop down. Oh, man, look at that one. They got all kinds of profiles in there. So this is the name of the profile that will be displayed in the drop-down menu. Oh, okay. So these are all of your properties. Like down here, you've got hidden command line name GUID. You can have all kinds of properties as part of this function here. It's not really a function. It's part of a list. It's a property in a list. So each of these properties, you can have the titles named. You can do suppress application title. When this is set to true, tab title overrides the default title of the tab. And any title change messages from the application will be suppressed. If tab title isn't set, name will be used instead. When this is set to false, tab title behaves as normal. Okay. Text settings, font face. There we go. Do you have to have the font installed on your system, or will it pull from Fonts Awesome or Google Fonts or something like that? That's a question. To learn about the other variants of the default font Cascadia Mono, visit Cascadia Code. Okay. This sets the padding around the text. Oh, God, I hate this song. The new upbeat stuff, I've heard a lot of it sampled on Harris's stream and on Sam's stream. It is money. So if you guys think that the stream beats here are a little bit too mellow and a little bit too downer sometimes, but one more month from what I understand, and we're going to have some jazzy kind of upbeat stuff, and I can't wait for it. I'm here for it. Padding. This sets the padding around the text within the window. This will accept 3 different formats. Let's see. Hash, comma, hash. Okay. Sets the padding individually for left, top, right, and bottom. All right. Defaults are 88888. This controls how text is anti-aliased in the renderer. Note that changing this setting will require starting a new terminal instance. Okay. I like anti-aliasing. I got a big boy GPU. We can do all the anti-aliasing. You can change your cursor to a bar. Little old dumb terminal. Oh, that's more dumb terminal right there is the filled box. Empty box, underscore. What do you guys like to use? What do you prefer? Like, if you've used Windows for most of your career, you're probably used to the line. But if you used a dumb terminal, you're going to have the filled box. If you're using Linux, so a lot of the times you're going to have the underscore. If you use VI as an editor, you're going to have all 3. Because they all show up depending on what mode you're in. Can I just rage about how cool this is? Seriously. This is... I can see now people coming up with custom JSON files and sharing those JSON files. As a matter of fact, we might build the DatacenterDude JSON profile and share it with everybody. So one of the things I wanted to do was learn how to put a logo in. How do I put a logo in? How do I put an image background? Foreground color, background color, selection background color, background image. Let's start here. This is fun. So let's go to, we want the command prompt. So the property name is going to be background image and file location as a string. Okay, so it's in... All right, let's go find it. It's on my NAS. That is my NAS. NAS, DatacenterDude, artwork, social media. I think it's the YouTube one. Yeah. So what is... Here's my path. And then it is... Did I miss something? I missed something somewhere. Line 46. Why is it mad? It does not like... Sets the file location of the image to draw over the window background. Invalid escape character in string. What am I missing here? Not seeing the double backslashes. It's my P drive. Let's try and make a copy of the file out to desktop or something like that. Sure. So instead of this, we'll do C:\\/ users. Is it mad about the up? It does not like something in there. Users / Nick H / desktop. You think you have to escape the backslashes with another backslash? No, I got my curly braces. I got a comma at the end, right? Yep. Where are you talking about putting a backslash? A second one? I'm not a developer. Full disclosure. So you're thinking that? That doesn't seem right. Now it's not red, it's yellow. So look at me, I'm a developer. Woo! How awesome is that? Now, what I would really like to do is just have it down in the bottom right corner. So I know that we can put the background image up, but I wanted to see if there's properties where you can. Yeah, I same for me here, Wences. I never would have thought. Like, I've been doing Windows since the 90s. NT 3.5 admin, 3.4 ad, or NT 4 admin, Windows 2000 MCSE. I've never seen anything require double backslashes like that. Very, very, very weird. Yeah, exactly. Is this Michael, is this a JSON thing? PS scripting requires you escape backslashes. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So, let me try this real quick. If I get rid of this. No, I don't. Not PowerShell. It's still there. How is it still there? Let's close the terminal. Yes. Now it's gone. Okay. But it didn't error. It didn't give me an error. So if I wanted to go get the old path, which was on the NAS and DatacenterDude artwork, social media, YouTube, that one. I wanted to grab this path and wanted to put it there. Put in some backslashes. All right, and save. It didn't load that time. Let's try it again. Interesting. Oh, I see why. Ta-da. Now we save. Yay, debugging. Ta-da. Okay. So we're good there. Yeah, I missed the one right in front of the DCD. Yep. Thank you. Now, the thing that I want to learn how to do is how do I take this image and instead of having it be a full background, I want it to be like a lower third in the bottom right corner. Kind of like how if you're watching this on YouTube, you've got a little DCD icon down in the bottom right. You guys see that? YouTube does that with whatever your profile is to do watermarking and things like that so people can't steal your content. But yeah, let's keep playing with this because I think there's more settings. Background image alignment. Ooh, there we go. Okay. Look, I'm a developer now, guys. I can totally do this. So let's go. Let's add another property. We're gonna call it background. If I can type today, background. Oh my God, background image align. Why isn't it like auto-filling? Background image alignment. Nope. What's happening? There we go. Oh! Fat fingers today, guys. Fat fingers. There we go. Bottom right. Save. Terminal. Ooh, that looks weird. All right, let's close it and reload. Nothing. All right, I'm missing something. The speller. It came up with bottom right, so it knows what I want. Or is it down there and I'm just not seeing it? Huh. Accepts default value center. Before we do a bottom one, let's just try right. Oh, if I mouse over it, it tells me sets how the background image aligns to the boundaries, possible values. Okay. Let's just do right. Save. Oh, I'm in a PowerShell window. No wonder it wasn't showing. Oh, we're gonna have to get rid of command prompt. So I've got to change my default to be command prompt. It's still coming up centered. Oh, because I changed it to right. All right, let's put bottom right back in there. Is it capitalized or bottom capital right? Yeah. Yeah, that ain't working so well. I did. I'm control-lessing over here. Let me make sure that's... Sorry, you guys can't see that. Yeah. We doing something wrong? I mean, is it too big? Can't be. It's a little social media icon that's like 500 pixels. It's not that big of an image. So if we do, can we just size? Image opacity. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Image, background image, what was it? Alignment. I want it to be center. And then let's do background image opacity. Let's do like 0.3. Yes. Oh, that's so good. So good. If I take it down to 0.2, what's that look like? Even darker. Oh, that looks dope. I wish it didn't cut off the... Oh, okay. So if I make it bigger... Oh, look at that. It does auto scale. So I can probably set my default size somewhere as well, right? So this is where we're messing with... Let's see what else we got here. What other properties can we modify here? We've got background image, acrylic opacity. Ooh. When it's set to true, the window will have an acrylic background. When it's set to false, the window will have a plain, untextured background. Ooh, okay. I'm intrigued. You have my attention. All right, so let's add the property. Let's do it above the background image. So use acrylic true. And then you have the acrylic opaque. Let's see what that looks like right there. Ah! No, where is my... Let's see if we have to reload. We didn't have to reload it previously, but... terminal. Yeah, I need to set the default to be command prompt instead of PowerShell. Is that... let's see if we can do that. Maybe that's because of the order. So if I take this whole... And then we'll take and... Because very rarely am I using PowerShell these days. It's mostly Cloud Shell. All right, so we'll put that there. I need a comma. I think I need a comma there as well. Do I? No, because that's the end. Okay. Save. Close terminal. Reopen terminal. Should open a command prompt, is what I'm hoping. No, it opened a PowerShell. Oh, you know why? Because I have default. I got to change my default GUID. Yeah, it's the default line. You're right. So it was set to 44BF, which is... Okay, that's all it is. Got it. So now we'll save, close, terminal. Got him. Got him! God, it looks so good. Oh, man. And it changed the order. That's cool. So also you've got Control-Shift-1, Control-Shift-2. So you can just do Control-Shift-2. There you go. You're in Azure Cloud Shell. Control-Shift-3. PowerShell tab. Bang, bang, bang. What would be cool is if you could open one up that gave you a tab of each or a series of tabs opening things. I think there's a way to do that. You can probably do a replace the executable with some parameters at the end of it. But I want to go back to this opacity thing. This sets the transparency of the window for the profile. This okay. Acrylic opacity. Enable acrylic. When this is set to true, the window will have an acrylic background. So mine is set to true. I don't. What does it mean to have an acrylic background? Okay, so let's mess with that opacity. So acrylic opacity 0.5. I just didn't see anything change. So if we're using a solid color for the background, selection background color. Okay. Oh god, there's so many properties. I love this. This is so fun, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I've been looking forward to this for years. The fact that they've finally put 1.0 out into preview alongside WSL, by the way. Color schemes are defined with schemes object. Schemes. Okay, so there's nothing in schemes. All right. So more detail can be found on the color schemes page. All right, let's see what that is. Oh! I'm thinking that we need to make a color scheme that matches, just for funsies, so we can show it, that matches the blue and orange of the, and we can make a gradient of the blue and orange as an acrylic backdrop for, maybe for PowerShell, right? We do that as something different for the PowerShell, or even the Azure Cloud Shell terminal. But we have an acrylic gradient between the orange and blue of the DatacenterDude logo. Maybe throw a smidge of yellow in there as well. That could be good. Before we do that, though, I'm going to take a quick bio break. Hop up and stretch your legs for 2 minutes. It's healthy, I promise. Grab a door frame and pull on it, stretch your arms. Be right back, guys. Hang tight. Alrighty. Okay. So the first thing I need to find is my style guide, which I believe I might have to drop her just to get the, I think it's hex values for the colors, but I feel like there's a So for those that, I've had several people ask me where'd I get my logo from. It was an idea that I had, sort of just all the different things that I do. So virtualization, storage, cloud, servers. And it was just, and then the back-to-back Ds. So I that's exactly what I said to a guy on Fiverr. And for $50, I think, he made it. We went through like 2 or 3 revisions to fix some things. And then I handed that, the original AI files. I think it's all the way up here. Source files. EPS. I think I go to the EPS file. I took that and handed it to an animator. And he did my intro. So, fine. Whatever. Hex. Yes, there we go. Okay, so dropper. No! Oh, God, don't do that. No. No. Get out. I really don't know how to do graphics either, guys. I pretend I do sometimes. What I'm trying to do here is figure out what the... Actually, I don't even need this one. No. I want just give me the source file, or, sorry, the artwork. Oh, so to finish the story, I took the graphics, the AI files, handed it to a guy that does animation, and he took it and made this. For another 75, 80 bucks, I think. So Fiverr, if you guys are just getting into doing stuff where you need graphics and things like that, there are plenty of people on Fiverr that do this kind of stuff. Lots of people have asked me about that, though. I need to find out... Oh, color dropper. Here we go. What? No! Why is it doing the whole thing? I don't understand what's happening. I just want... Like, what is that color? If I pick that hex... Let's do copy. Let's go back out to hex colors. That's the orange. Okay. Let's get a little notepad out here. Orange is that one. And then we're going to do... What the... No. Oh, wow, I can move these individually? Holy smokes. I can totally redo my logo. I forgot I had the original source file sometimes. You can move the... Oh, my God. You can move these individual... Holy smokes. Okay. Well, we're not going to mess that up. Is this all... Oh, each of those are individual letters? Holy smokes. I guess that's the translation from an EPS file. But you've literally got all individual elements. No wonder the guy was able to animate it. I need to figure out... Ooh, is that it right there? Yes, I think it is. Control-C. And let's go back to our color picker. Yes. Okay. So now we've got the orange and blue. All right. So blue. There. Good. Done. We're out of here. That's all we wanted. Close that. No, do not modify that. Thank you. Okay, so for your color scheme... Move that out of the way for now. All right. Color schemes can be defined in schemes array of your JSON file. They're written in the following format. Okay, so we've got our schemes over here. So I need to do a curly brace and then name. No. That's no. What? Name. We're going to call it DCD. Okay. And then we're going to do... Why is that red? Oh, we'll come back to that. Cursor color. Am I in the right place? There we go. Okay. It wasn't expecting those brackets there. Cursor color. Why is there an extra space in the name there but not down here? But there's extra spaces here and down here. That's interesting. So cursor color, we're just going to stick with white. And then we'll comma that. So see how it's lighting up red? Does it want that extra space? Something is wrong here. All right, let's get this filled in as much as we can. Actually, I can just go copy that. Let's grab this whole thing right here. And we'll put that in. Now there's no reds. I don't know what I did wrong. White, fine. Background, foreground. So the background I want to be, let's try the blue background with orange. Actually, let's try both of them. We can flip them back and forth. So we'll try blue background with orange foreground. All this can go away, I believe. All right, I got an error. Line 74, column 5, missing a curly brace. Maybe you do have to leave all that in there? I don't know. So let's try a new command prompt. So it's still going to have the logo. So if we take the background image off. No. I wish there was a background image true and false that you could just flag, flip on and off. Maybe there is. Hang on. Background image. Selection background. Stretch mode. None. Ooh. Found it finally. See? I'm a developer now. That's freaking awesome. That's awesome. Now, the interesting part is going to be, I love that, first of all. I love the ability to customize. But I'm curious why the scheme isn't working. So I feel like I'm missing something. Color schemes can be defined in the schemes array. No. There we go. I took my brackets out. Let's see. 74, column 5, missing a curly brace or object member name. Razik Adam, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Glad you're here. Okay, so the selection background is missing. But it's blank over here. But it said line 75. I was missing something. Stray comma. Oh, there's one missing here too. Maybe that was it. Let's close terminal. 91 column 5. Oh, Brandon, I missed your message. What was it? Stray comma somewhere? I feel like I'm missing a quote or a comma. It says 91 missing. I'm not missing a curly brace. The whole array is there. Got my brackets. I thought that missing comma was going to be the problem right there. Do you not need a comma here? Is that what it is? At the end of the array? No, you don't. Okay. Selection background is still... String does not match the pattern of... Yeah, it's wanting something. So if I mean, do I put the same thing in? 007DB3? Nope, still messed up. Okay. So it's saying line 91, column 5. It doesn't like that curly brace. Do I need a comma after the curly brace for the array? No? Oh, 97 now. Column 18 it's complaining about. Key bindings. Expected comma. Take and remove that extra that you added at the braces. Okay. Why is it freaking out down here now? Are you sure that comma didn't need to be in here at the brace? See, this is why I'm saying there's got to be some kind of GUI component to the terminal. People aren't going to fight this long term. All right, let me do this. Let me grab this whole thing. I'm going to do a Control X. We're going to let VS Code build it for us. No. How about that? Nope, still mad. It's mad about something down here now. 95, and that colon is red. No quick fixes. The end of the array here. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Well, at least it's loading now. Let's see if we can get it. So basically what I'm trying to do here, Jason, I'm not sure if you were watching. I'm just playing around with all the different settings. You can see we got the logo in there, and you've got properties in the JSON where you can do stretch mode, background image, image alignment, bottom right, opacity, right? What I'm trying to do now is to do a different one. And I'm wondering if it's because I've got the image. So I've got acrylic opacity. Let's set acrylic opacity to 1. No. You love the unfiltered reactions and feedback. Thank you, man. What do you do at Facebook? If you don't mind sharing, introduce yourself. We're all a bunch of technologists here across multiple vendors, VARs, and all kinds of stuff. That's kind of the community we're building. So yeah, introduce yourself, say hi, come over and join us in our Discord if you haven't yet as well. I'll throw a link to that here in the chitty chat so you can find that. But yeah, there's over 150 people, just core technologists across data center, cloud computing, developers, all kinds of stuff hanging out in there. If you're not in there already, Razak, Trying to find... And by the way, I'm going to send this stream to Kayla for what it's worth, just to get like real live feedback from somebody that isn't a developer but is a server admin that has done enough scripting to get himself in trouble. I'm going to send it to Kayla and Scott Hanselman. Kayla specifically, though. Just so they can see like almost like focus group UX what this is like. Like I know enough about JSON to go in here and change settings just from working with Kubernetes and Swagger APIs and things like that, but this is not my jam. This is not my comfort zone. I just want to use terminal. Really. But of course I want to customize it. Everybody wants to customize it, right? That's the new thing. The logo thing was pretty easy, the background image. But trying to figure out the schema colors. So, oh, this might be what it is. Oh, I'm sorry. So name. This is the name of the color scheme used in the profile. Color schemes are defined in... Okay, so I have to go up here to the profile and put in a property. That's why it wasn't working. So acrylic opacity, we'll do it under that. We'll do color scheme equals... What did I call it? DCD. Save. Yes! We were missing the calling of the property in the profile. So that's a little hard to read, but mission accomplished. Let's take the background image. Actually, let's do the image opacity back up to 1 and see what that looks like. That looks awful. I need to make a transparent version of that so that we can bring that in. I'm pretty sure I've got that somewhere. Actually, let's try something different. Let's try something a little different. No. Logo, no. I'm not sure if that's transparent or not, but we'll try it. We'll try it. Oh, this song. Copy. So let's see. Is that in the same directory? DatacenterDude source file. No, it's not. Okay, so I need to copy that first. Is that the full path? Yes. Okay. All right, so let's put this. Make this a little wider. And then DCD. Bear with me here, guys. I'm trying something a little different. Web banner .jpeg. No, PNG. And then we're going to do our doubles. Okay. And save. Oh, it's way too big. Stretch mode. What are my options here? Just joined. Thanks. Looking forward to learning. Hey, welcome aboard. I think it's Razak Adam. Is it Adam Razak? Let me know how which or I'll just call you what I'll take a guess at. The other problem I've got here is that I need to resize this to... What were my resizing properties? Fill none uniform. What is uniform? Okay, that looks better. Oh, that's pretty dope. Okay, so acrylic opacity. Let's bring that down to like 0.3. Okay, background image opacity. Let's bring that down to a 0.5. That's pretty cool. Now what I need to do is I need this to be like more bold, brighter. I love the orange. I think it looks awesome. But I almost want it to... It's a little too much. I need it to be a bolder... Let's look at the rest of these properties for color. Foreground color, this changes the foreground color of the profile. This overrides foreground set in the color scheme. Okay. Background color, selection background color. All right, acrylic. Use acrylic. Okay, background image, we did that. Scroll bar. You can turn the scroll bar off. Interesting. History size. Over 9,000. That's cute. How the profile closes when exiting. That's cool. Retro terminal effects. Ooh, we could try this. So let's do the property. Let's do it right here. Experimental. True. Color scheme. What if we just take the color scheme out? I guess you have to take the whole line out. You can probably just comment it out. There we go. And then... Oh, now it's mad. Interesting. So the experimental didn't work. Abdul, nice to meet you, Abdul. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining us. I'm actually quite happy with that. The one thing I want to change still is the font. So that retro terminal thing didn't work. Let's comment that guy out. Let's put the... We'll leave the color scheme off for right now, too. That's a little hard to see. But I do like the image down there like that. I almost just want to go back to the icon, though, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll switch the image back to... artwork, social media, YouTube, banner. Yeah. No! I didn't want to do that. So Control C. Control V. YouTube. dcd-youtube.jpg. And we'll put our other double slashes in. Save that. Let's see how that stretch worked that time. Yeah, let's do bottom right, and we'll do... Was it none? Yeah, there we go. All right, I like that. And then we'll use acrylic. Let's put the acrylic back on, because I think that did the blending. No, I need to make a transparent version so I can just bring that in. I'll work on that this weekend. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Now let's look at font. I want to take this... Oh, that's what it was. I want to take this down to 0.3. That's how it blended a little bit better. Yeah, okay. Better. Now let's find... Ooh, look at that. You get included color schemes. Campbell PowerShell. That's pretty cool. Solarized dark. I like that. That looks really good. I like that green, blue-gray kind of look to it. Okay. Global settings. Default profile. We set that to be command line, command prompt. Disable dynamic profiles? Okay. I don't want to do that. Dark light theme? Ooh. Ooh. Dark mode. It's dark and brooding. Sure. Is this going in the... Oh, this is in the other... Oh, defaults up top. Come on. Give it. There we go. No. System. Is there a system setting somewhere? System will use the same theme as Windows. Property name theme. You guys see theme anywhere? That's keybinds. Tab settings. Always show tabs, yeah. Tab width. Hide, close all tabs pop up. Oh, that's the confirmation dialog, okay. Launch settings. Launch mode. Default maximized. Okay. Initial position. Initial columns, initial rows, title bar settings. Wow. You can really tailor this to be exactly what you want it to be. Copy formatting, word delimiters. Jesus. Scroll speed, snap to window, snap to grid. Rendering settings. Here we go. Is this for the GPU? If you're thinking about changing the rendering settings, additional information can be found on the troubleshooting page. And this is set to true. The terminal will redraw the entire screen each frame. Wow. So I'm thinking you put this up here with your default profile. Right under there. Copy on select. That's some Linux stuff right there. Copy form. If enable formatted data is also copied to your clipboard. Formatted data. No, don't want that. Profiles, defaults, list. Okay. So yes, I think we need to put I got 3 profiles. Put settings. Oh, okay. So this is the global settings right here. Put settings here you want to apply to all profiles. Okay. So if we do a theme. Nope. It doesn't like that. That's the property name though, right? Tabs. Property name always show tabs. Why isn't it auto-completing? That's interesting. Oh well. Don't much care about that for right now. Mostly just curious. Let's see. Set the default profile which opens by typing Control-Shift-T. Control-Shift-T. There we go. That works. And then profile settings. Let's go back to that one. Okay. So there are globals that you can set under defaults, and then there are individual profiles that you can set for... You can have multiple... Like, I could take and duplicate this. Let's actually do that. Right here. So I'm going to take this whole thing, and I'm going to copy. And I'm going to kick a line in here, and I'm going to paste. And then we can have that name be... Let's call this one DCD logo. And we'll call this one DCD colors. And it's command.exe. And we can take the background image out of the colors. And uncomment that guy. Color scheme. I don't have a DCD color scheme anymore. What did I break? I broke something. GUID. Oh, the GUID name is the same. So how do you generate a new GUID? It needs a GUID for the default profile. So how do I create a new GUID? That's the question. All right, thanks for stopping by, Jason. See you, man. So I need something that is unique identifier written in registry format. Closing quote after... Oh, thank you. But the GUIDs are the same. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? So this one is being overridden. Or... That's what we got to figure out now is how do you make a new GUID? Profiles can use a GUID as a unique identifier to make a profile your default. It needs a GUID for the default profile setting. Do you just make them up? Is it generated? Because the demo that they're showing me down here, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has a whole bunch of different ones. So how are they generating the GUIDs? Let's try making it up. Let's go... Let's just change that to 4. And there it is. So I've got one with colors, one with that. There's something missing, though. This GUID is referencing something. Pretty cool, guys. I gotta admit, this is fantastic. So the last thing I wanted to work, I'm okay with. So we got one with colors and one with the logo. Last thing here is font. I actually kind of like that font. That's different than the typical command prompt. That's more Linuxy. But let's just play with it. So font size. Property, is this going in? This is the name of the using the profile. Okay, so we're gonna do it on a per profile basis. To learn about the other variations, visit the Cascadia Code fonts page. So, for example, if I wanted to do like Anton is one of the fonts that I use quite a bit for block lettering and things like that. Can I put Anton in here? It's going to look like shit, but I just want to do it for giggles. So font face, property name, font face. Let's put that under font face Anton. That's not bad, actually. That's pretty awesome. It looks ridiculous. That's very old school terminal kind of look. All right, so let's go back into fonts. Let's find something in here that's a little more courier-y. Cascadia Code is really, really nice. It's a really nice font. I really like it in VS Code. Probably going to stick with it, but I almost want something. I also think Corbel would look really good. Now I'm curious. That's not bad. What? Oh, there used to be commands. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. We're probably gonna stick with Cascadia Code. Oswald might be nice, actually. Let me try that one. Did that change? No, it still looks the same. That still looks like Corbel. Alright, fine. Cascadia Code. Fine. Cascadia Code. It looks nice. It's a really, really nice font for terminal. And I've loved using it in now I'd love to have a command prompt icon here for some reason, but it's not pulling it up. So let's do the same thing down here. Where did I put it? Under command line. So font, face, Cascadia Mono. I think that's the default anyway. Like if you take that line out, does it still look the same? Yeah, it's the default. Okay. So last thing I want to work on is the panes. I need to find pane. There it is. Panes. Creating a new pane. You can either create a new vertical or horizontal pane. Splitting vertically will open a new pane to the right of the focused pane. And splitting horizontally will open a new pane below the focused pane. To create a new one, Alt-Shift plus or Alt-Shift minus. Now, the question is, first of all, the question is, how do I choose a different profile? If you hold the Alt key, you can use your arrows to move between them. Oh, that didn't work. All right. I feel like we skipped some stuff here. If you'd like to change these key bindings, you can create new ones. Oh, I guess this is where the commands come in your JSON. You can customize this by adding key bindings to the move focus command and setting the direction to either down. Okay. Okay. You can adjust the size by. Okay. Yep. That's kind of cool. Wait, what? Hold Alt Shift and use your arrow keys. Pretty slick. I like it. Closing a pane. You can close the focus pane by Control Shift W. Nice. So Alt Shift plus or Control Shift W and then Alt Shift minus for one below it. Got it. That'll take some learning, but got it. You can also change that command to be whatever you want. I might do a Control W. I might change that to Control W. What does Control W do right now? Nothing. Beautiful. Just to keep things in line with like closing a tab of Chrome, for example. Duplicating a pane. The terminal allows you to duplicate the focus pane's profile into another pane. But how do I get a different profile in a pane? This can be done by adding the split mode property with duplicate as the value to a split pane key binding. You guys with me on this one? I'm struggling to. What if I want the different profile? No, that just opens a new tab. So how do I... Whoa. Whoa. Oh, I guess I pasted that. I'm not seeing to create a new vertical pane of the default profile. For a horizontal plane or your default profile. Switching between panes, resizing, closing, customizing panes using key bindings. So you can only create a new pane of the default profile, apparently. Abdul, do you know something different by chance? Tutorials. Set the tab title. No. I'd love to have one with the logo and then, you know, maybe one or just have multiple profiles and have 3 different things going in one terminal session rather than having them tabbed out. That's what I'm kind of going for. Like instead of doing tabs, have multiple panes opened up in one tab of different profiles. And I'm not seeing a way to switch that. Resources. Dynamic profiles. Windows Terminal will automatically create Windows subsystem WSL Pro and PowerShell profiles for you installed on your machine. This makes it easier for you to have all your shells included in the terminal without having to locate their executables. Fantastic. These profiles are generated with the source property. Upon installing the terminal, it will set PowerShell as your default. Okay. Installing a new shell after installing Windows Terminal. Regardless of whether a new shell is installed before or after your terminal installation, the terminal will create a new profile for the newly installed shell. Cool. Prevent a profile from being generated. Okay, well that was mostly useless. Customize search panes. Custom terminal layout. Power line in PowerShell. Ooh. Huh? Raspberry Ubuntu. frosted glass. Ooh. Oh. Ooh, that's nice. Prompt is using the old IBM VGA8, which is not included in Windows Terminal. Okay. The other thing I'd love to know is how do I take... I guess I could just give you guys this JSON file. The DCD terminal JSON. If you guys wanted to use this. But you'd need the image as well. I want this to pop more. You know what I'm curious about is what if we flip them? Do I still have my notepad? Yes. Okay. So what if I want... This is going to be bright as hell. The background to be orange. And the foreground to be blue. That's not bad. I mean... If you're a Florida Gators fan, you love this. Oh, go Knowles, by the way. Yeah, that sucks. No. No way. I like the, I almost want to bring the opacity down on the logo even further. Let's go down to 0.2. What's 0.1 look like? All the way down. Well, that's even better, actually. You can barely see it in there, but you still see it. I like that. Let's go back up to 0.2. See, right there, it's starting to obstruct visibility just a little bit. I think 0.1 might be perfect. Just the perfect amount. You can still faintly see it back there. That's really cool. I like that. I guess I'm a developer now. There we go, guys. I wrote some I hacked at some JSON today. Very, very messily so. We're almost to the top of the bottom of the hour here, so I want to just wrap this up by saying, again, reiterating, holy shit, the announcements that Microsoft dropped on us, especially on Tuesday on day one. But then the fun Q&As that we had, the other information, we had Kevin give his thing on Wednesday. Just lots of good stuff coming out of Microsoft this week. We're not done. I was really excited to play with Terminal, get the preview installed and set up and start tinkering with it. Kayla, this is coming your way. So you can see some of the messing around that I did. But yeah, lots of stuff in here that I would like to improve upon, and I might even contribute some of that back. This is available on the GitHub. I'll try and figure out the best way to deliver. If you guys would like to use the JSON that I've created, I have updated it quite a bit. I'll figure out a way to get that shareable and try and get it in the description into a paste bin or something like that you guys can pull from. That's going to do it for today, guys. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys for joining us today. We'll be back on Monday at 10 a.m. and Monday, Wednesday, Friday of next week. Make sure you're in the Discord. I'll throw that in here again. I think all of you that are in here are, but just in case you're not, in case you need to be and you're watching this later, you can also find a link to this down in the description below. Thank you for joining us. I will be streaming some gaming tonight on Twitch at twitch.tv/DatacenterDude. We'll be doing some Destiny 2, most likely. Working on our Rasputin bunkers. So tune in for that. come on over if you want to rap about live streaming, if you want to talk about audio video gear, if you want to talk about presentations, anything you want to talk about. But just keep in mind, we're going to be playing video games. If you play Destiny, you want to join us, more than welcome. We love playing with the community. Come into the Discord, find me, find Jay Dooley. Raging Goon is another one in there that's playing. So, yeah, lots of people in the Discord. Thank you guys so much for hanging. This was awesome. This was absolutely awesome. I can't wait to find actual real-life use cases for me to put this into practice, make some videos around it and things like that. I hope everybody enjoys. Thank you, Wences, for reminding me. Here in the States, it's Memorial Day on Monday, so salute to the veterans before we do that early. And I'm not sure whether or not I'll stream on Monday with that in mind. Thank you for reminding me there, Wences. But stay into the Discord. Follow me on Twitter at DatacenterDude. And I'll be sure to let you guys know what happens when we get through the weekend. But have a great weekend, everybody. Come find me on Twitch later tonight playing some Destiny if you're up for it. And we'll hang out. Peace.